Around Halloween time, you can expect to see the obligatory ghost sighting story. But at the end of March, this week, a purported ghost sighting at a grocery store captured the attention of the mainstream press. The news of a ghost sighting at a market basket in Wilmington was not reported in the Paranormal Scholar. Oh, no. We heard it from the Boston Globe and a wide range of local and national news outlets.
There's something spooky at a supermarket north of Boston.
Massachusetts grocery store visitor is causing quite the scare.
A number of people reporting seeing a spirit at the grocery store roaming the aisles.
Well, one anyway. A woman working at the store describes the apparition.
I saw this woman she was older and kind of short, and she had gray curly hair with like a little nightgown on and a nightcap.
And where there's one ghost sighting, there's bound to be another.
This sounds like there's some validity to it, especially when people describe the same image over and over again.
Really? You mean like the description of space aliens? Even if you've never seen one, you know what it looks like. It's called communal reinforcement, although there's one other explanation that fits.
Fake news.
So I like a good kicker story or a funny story myself. I've always had a just passionate distaste for anything having to do with the paranormal when we, the news media, give it credibility. If you're going to do the story, you got to say it didn't happen. You just got to.
How do you know it didn't happen?
Because I know. All right? Then don't do the story if you don't know what the answer to this is. And by the way, this is serious. In a time when the news media's credibility has taken, a really credible hit. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Callie. It's okay. You make a joke of it, but we weren't all making jokes of it.
I guess they weren't. I guess I just thought most people would not take it seriously in the manner in which it was presented, and maybe it needed to be stated more clearly. But I got it from the manner in which the story was presented. We don't think this is true. What I was interested in was Market Basket's really insightful marketing response.
Yeah.
I thought their response
Our Victorian-era prices.
Yeah, our Victorian-era prices are still here. We don't have any ghosts. But, I thought that. So from a marketing standpoint, I was interested in that story. But, I take your point, and, you go from small things to big things, but everybody presented it like a joke. So,
not everybody.
Okay, I guess I didn't see the ones that presented it seriously.
A lot of people are not necessarily credible consumers of information. The woman, I don't want to single her out. I don't know her name. I'm sure she's a lovely human being, but the woman who said, okay, well, that sounds legit. Like, there's something, what's she talking about? What's she talking about? So I think probably a lot of people processed it the way you just did. There are probably more people than we'd like to think who didn't.
I disagree with you. I hear what you're saying. I think that we can be so effete in news sometimes. News is either interesting or meaningful or both. This was just bending the interesting meter. There was nothing meaningful about it.
How was it news?
If
I have a Yeti sighting tomorrow in the White Mountains, it's like, are you going to report that?
I don't know. It would all depend.
No, because they're usually in the White Mountains. They're not in Market Basket.
That's right. They're not in Market Basket. That's the distinction. Now, how do you determine she's credible? That's a legitimate question. But I think that somebody thought she was credible enough, and then people had fun with it. I have no problems with it. This was a fun story, and that's all it was, and I think it was interesting.
I thought it was interesting that an employee saw the ghost. That's
right,
what I thought.
In the daytime.
In the daytime.
By the frozen food.
Right. And then scholars responded by saying a Victorian woman would never be outside in her slip. So already we know it's wrong.
Nightgown.
Your nightgown.
Would not be shopping at the grocery store. My favorite part of the NECN story, I wish I'd written down the exact wording, but there was a chyron that went up that said, not everyone believes that there was actually a ghost at the store.
Really?
And I'm looking at this and saying, not everyone?
That's the problem, rather than putting a period on the end of the sentence, they're leaving it open that like somehow this is possible.
And this turned on social media, didn't it?
Yes.
So and that's something every news outlet is now culling social media, looking for quirky, fun stories that are going to elicit a lot of attention, and this is what you got.
It would be the greatest get in the history of journalism would be the first interview with a ghost, first interview with an alien.
I'll line it up for you.